Hi, I'm Phil D'Agostino, and this is Naked Thinking. The title of today's video is about making everybody happy all the time, essentially, anyway. And so the question comes up, and people have asked this question of me, can you really make everybody happy all the time? And of course, they expect you to say, of course not. But I'm going to say, oh, of course you can. Now, people have asked me, they said, you say you can. How could you possibly make somebody happy all the time? The answer is very simple. Give them everything they want. If they want X, give them X. If they want you to do Y, do it. If you always give in to the other party, kind of got to be what some people call a doormat, or whatever you want to be. If you do that, then you'll always make people happy. Now, they might get unhappy with that and say, I don't want to be married to a doormat, or I don't want to be a partner with a doormat. I want something back from you. It's like, okay, then you give them that. So, yeah, you can make other people happy all the time. But that's impractical. You're not going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. And why would I suggest that that's a good idea? It's not a good idea, but it is an idea. It's a possibility. So, since people don't work like that, and that's really something that psychologists might call self-defeating personality problems. We don't want to do that either. I mean, the whole concept here is how to be a naked thinker, how to strip away all these things that get in the way of our ability to think through problems and do things that matter and that we will be able to live with long after that decision has been made. That's the point of naked thinking. Well, part of naked thinking isn't just that I do that for me in here, but I want to set the stage so that when I'm dealing with you, that I can also help you become more of a naked thinker. Now think about how that happens. If you think about what it is that naked thinking is supposed to be helpful in doing, it's to strip away all those kinds of overlays from emotional pressures, or preconceived notions or suppositions. Jumping to conclusions is considered a negative cognitive reaction. People do that as a way of messing around with the way they think. They jump to conclusions, deal with the conclusion, and not what you're saying or doing anymore. So it's like, so you just automatically think I'm going to X, Y, or Z, right? So, and that's true. So what we want to do is we want to talk about how I can talk to you about certain things in a way that's going to help you stay off the magic carpet ride of the negative emotion of the moment and stay in the realm of a naked thinker and listen to me, understand me, and then work with me in a manner that's going to be useful to both of us and something that we can live with into the future, okay? So let's take a look at I'm going to give this to you as a mathematical formula. So Ellie, could you put that up for me, please? Thank you. I don't think, we are not doing math here today, and this formula is just for reference, okay? All right, thank you. All right, so now I want you to look at this. It says H equals E times R. Now, if you look at the H at the bottom, there's a subscript, plus or minus. And so the R is plus or minus, and you notice that the E is the null set, okay? So now, what do you think H stands for? Go ahead, give it some thought. Probably wrong. Most of the people that I've done this with, they don't get it right. Happiness, that's what that is. So happiness, plus or minus, or a better way to say that would be how happy you are with a particular situation or a person or an object is based on, equal to, E times R, or E being expectations, that's the baseline, as it meets R. Now I've asked people, so what is R? And they say results. No. It's like a result, but it's not a result. Because there are certain things, R being reality, there are certain realities that are not really a result of anything that anybody's doing. It's just what it is. So, like for example, if you say, let's get a picnic up and we'll go someplace and we'll go out to a lake and do something. And so you get all this stuff ready to go and you go out and as you're going, you begin to notice clouds a brewing or gathering, and you get out there and it just washes you out with a big old storm, and you're very upset about that. And it's like, well, you know what? What did you expect to happen? Did you check the weather? No, but it was a beautiful day. It's like, oh, so your expectation, the baseline, was that it was going to be perfect weather the whole time we were gone, and the reality, which was not a result of anything, nobody made that happen. It was just there. Now, you might have been able to foresee it by looking at a weather report or something like that. Maybe not. Those things are not perfect. But if you were to say, my happiness level with this trip went way down, therefore, because the reality went way down, but the expectation was up here, was right there. Reality was less than my expectation. Therefore, my happiness level is less than I would like for it to be. So there are things you can do in interactions with somebody. And there are, earlier I said, can you make everybody happy all the time? The answer is yes, because if we take the reality and say, there are certain things I can't change, but there are certain things that I can. So if you say, my expectation is that I'm going to ask you for something and you're going to say no, but you say yes. Poof, I'm happy. Okay, so I'll ask for something else. Poof, I'll give it to you. And you go, yeah, now I'm happy. So I can always do that. Now, let's talk about expectations. I have asked people 1,000 times, what did you expect? Have you ever asked me that? What did you expect, man? I was on an airplane in Duluth, Minnesota. We landed in Duluth, Minnesota at the end of January. And we got on this little airplane, and this guy pops up. Before anything else, he pops up, runs up to the door, and here is the flight attendant wearing one of these gigantic parkas, fluffy and all that kind of stuff. And he's standing there wearing a suit. Now, they're waiting for somebody to come and bring the staircase down because it's a small airplane. They don't have a jetway. And so he's finally coming up, and she goes crankety crank and opens the door, and in comes all this cold air, snow everywhere out there. And he goes, man, it's cold. And she looked at him and said, this is Duluth, Minnesota, in January. What did you expect it to be? It's like, well, I don't know. Yeah. That's pretty dumb. So it is dumb. I'm sorry. Okay, that was bad. Okay, it was a mistaken idea. It was a really off-the-wall expectation that could not be good when compared to the reality there. All right. So if you think about what your expectations are, and some people I've asked, I said, so what did you expect? And they'll go, I don't really have any expectations. Then I would say to them, you're a liar. Yes, I said that. You're a liar. Now, are you lying to me? Well, probably not. But are you lying to yourself? Probably so. Because nobody ever has no expectations. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you come over to me. I live where I live in North Carolina. And so you fly into my town and I say, hey, I'm going to take you to a restaurant. And they go, okay, what kind? I say, oh, no. It's going to be one of those restaurants that I'm sure you'll like, but it'll be great. And he goes, okay. That's okay, I'll trust you. So, okay. So we get to this restaurant, and it's just a big blank wall with a door. And he's looking at this thing, and he goes, okay. And I said, okay. So what are your expectations? This person says to me, I don't really have any expectations. I have no idea what to expect. This is where the falsehood comes in. You say, you do have expectations. For example, because I took you there, you expect it to be a pretty good place. You may or may not like it, but it's going to be clean. The people there are going to be nice to you. You're probably going to have a nice place to sit. The food's going to be well prepared, whether you like it or not, is another issue. There are going to be these are kind of like hidden expectations. These are things that happen in the unconscious mind very often, that we do always have expectations. Therefore, if I am going to do certain things to make sure that you can become a naked thinker in this and stay in the realm of being happy about this, as you see here, what I want to do is adjust the baseline of expectations to match what I think will become the reality, or what I can make become your reality in it. For example, okay, I left you completely blank here. So what if it's kind of like a dump, but they have great food? There's just something about it. I was actually taken to a restaurant. I won't even tell you what kind, because I don't want to get anybody upset. But I was in Texas, and I was taken to a restaurant, and they said, if you like this kind of food, this is the best place you can go. Now, I don't like that kind of food, but my wife did. So we were also told, now, don't let the way it looks, bother you. It's not like your high dollar kind of a place, but it's clean. So you go in and you order your stuff and it'll be great. I was in Florida. Same thing happened. The guy said to me, he said, "Oh yeah, we eat here all the time." Now it's going to be threadbare, beat up because it's been there for a long time. But the food is like really, really good. And so we said, okay. So now what we did, we walked into the place in Texas. It really was kind of a dump. It wasn't dirty exactly, but everything was kind of beat up and whatever. So, and my wife really loved the food. It evidently was very good. I don't eat that stuff, but that's what she likes. And so there you go. But you see now what she had done, that is the person that invited us, is she had adjusted our expectations about the place. So when we got in there, it met the expectations as she set them. The realities and the expectations matched. In Florida, the other guy that I was talking about, when we went there, my expectations were that this place was going to be kind of, beat up old place, and it was, and the food was going to be good, and it was. So we always have expectations. Don't delude yourself into thinking, I don't have any expectations. I'm a free bird. I'm completely out there, and whatever happens, it'll be good. Whatever it is, don't lie to yourself. Don't delude yourself. You will always have an expectation, no matter what you do. There will be a hidden expectation somewhere along the line. Now, if I can bring a reality to meet your expectation, then you're going to love me. Now, if I can take your expectation and help you to think about it in a minimalistic kind of a way, and then serve you a reality that is not only matching it, but far superior to it, then you're going to love me like crazy. That's what salespeople want to do. Politicians want to do that. Economists want to do that. We look at this and say, well, what they're doing is managing expectations. And this is how, and this is why. Could you take this down now? Okay, thank you very much. So when a person is talking to you about certain things that the two of you might do together, or you're going to do a service for them or sell them something, or you're going to go with them and do something with them, check out the expectations. And if a person says, I really don't have any expectations, don't, you don't have to do that. But what you can do is you can ask them, say, well, everybody has expectations. There's got to be at least some things that go through your mind when we suggested to do this. And then what you do is talk about what those might be, and if you can produce a reality that might meet them better somewhere else, maybe that's a good thing to do. But think about this. H equals E times R. Whenever you're dorking with somebody else, and you will always get, or usually get, a better experience. Hi, it's me, Phil, again. I want to thank you for stopping by for this episode of the Naked Thinking Podcast. But before you go, if you like what you saw and you want to see more of it, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and then pass it around to everybody you know, and even everybody you don't know, which would be everybody. So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.